It's just gone on too long. Nobody cares anymore. I don't want to live in your paranoid world anymore, your masked paranoid world. You know, you go out, it's silly now. You know, you have to have your mask, you have to have a card, you have to have a booster.
This is what we're doing to protect our families. And you don't have to do it, but stay away from everybody. Because if you're the one who's not paying attention and you're coughing and sneezing, you don't want to, then stay out of the public, man. This is not, nobody wants this.
Bill Maher is back in the spotlight, cutting through political correctness with his usual sharp style. This time, he's taking aim at Whoopi Goldberg, whose long list of controversial remarks since 2022 helped set the stage for this heated exchange. But Maher didn't just throw out a few insults. He carefully broke down her points, delivering a powerful rebuttal that left Goldberg clearly rattled. So, what exactly did she say to spark such a strong reaction? And how did Maher's response shake her supporters? Stick around. We're breaking it all down, moment by moment.
To get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech.
Whoopi Goldberg just sparked major controversy, and now she's feeling the heat. If you've been following the drama, this is one moment you don't want to miss. Remember when Bill Maher called out Sunny Hostin for twisting his words? Things at The View have gotten even more intense since then. This time, Whoopi jumped right into the middle of it, clearly ready to defend her co-host and take on the critics. When Sunny started to struggle under the pressure, Whoopi stepped in, and she didn't hold back. Her response was fiery and direct, like someone determined to win an argument no matter what.
Black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Whoopi Goldberg weighed in once again, sticking to her usual talking points and strongly defending her views. But when the argument is already shaky, adding more confusion doesn't help. Meanwhile, Bill Maher kept things straightforward. He pointed out that many Black Americans are asking for real job opportunities, a strong economy, and fair policing. Simple and clear. But instead of addressing that, Whoopi shifted the focus to a former prosecutor's plans for the working class, which felt off-topic and unconvincing. Her message didn't quite connect, and it showed. Naturally, Bill Maher wasn't about to let that slide.
Get rid of the police. Just, no, it's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid.
Bill Maher didn't hold back. He called out Whoopi Goldberg's comments as completely out of touch. It was a sharp shift from the usual tone of The View, which has become more about heated political drama than real discussion. The show often dives into controversial topics, and while that grabs attention, it also creates plenty of chaos. This time, Whoopi and Sunny Hostin took it up a notch with some bold and unexpected remarks. And when Charlemagne the God joined the panel, it felt like even he wasn't sure what kind of debate he'd just stepped into.
I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now.
President Joe Biden, who often speaks about the importance of law and order, has just issued a pardon for his son Hunter following his conviction on corruption charges. Naturally, this move sparked a wave of public backlash. Many are asking, how can a leader promote fairness and justice while making an exception for his own family? It raises real concerns about double standards. Hunter's legal troubles were hard to ignore, yet accountability seemed to take a back seat. In this case, that's exactly the point Charlemagne was trying to make. If we truly believe no one is above the law, that principle should apply across the board. But not everyone agrees. Whoopi Goldberg, for one, had a different take.
I'm I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a
No,
sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
Brace yourselves for another head-scratching moment from Whoopi Goldberg, the reigning queen of controversial takes. This time, she's doubling down on President Biden's claim that no one is above the law. Really, Whoopi? Despite a mountain of evidence, videos, audio clips, and enough receipts to fill a library, it's clear he said those exact words. Yet somehow, she's standing by the narrative like it's airtight.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Whoopi twist an obvious falsehood is like someone insisting the sky isn't blue on a clear day. Her arguments were so tangled, it was like an Olympic-level feat, if only she didn't keep tripping over her own logic. Even Charlemagne looked shocked by her wild claims. But she didn't stop there. Whoopi went on to say that Biden changed his position because he was just fed up with people taking advantage of him. Charlemagne was left speechless and could only shake his head.
So I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
you're
go out.
mis-
They're
don't-
the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
Listen,
they don't have to do that.
The irony of the woke crowd is how quick they are to call out mistakes, unless it's someone from their own circle. When outsiders mess up, they're slammed hard and fast. But when one of their own slips, the criticism fades away into quiet excuses or selective memory. Whoopi and her team may have gotten a pass while Charlemagne was on the show, but as soon as Bill Maher caught wind of their antics, he raised his glass and delivered one of the sharpest takedowns we've seen in a long time.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit.
Maher was straight up and sharp. The woke crowd talks about truth and justice, but their double standards are obvious. Hunter Biden clearly did wrong, but because his dad's president, he got a free pass. If it was anyone else, people would be furious. Favoritism beats fairness every time. That's hypocrisy, and Maher called it out. How long will people accept this? It's about a system protecting the powerful and punishing others. Maher's words were a wake-up call. Plus, mainstream media often helps this unfairness.
Was it appropriate to bury the Hunter Biden?
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course, you don't
but
follow
I'm
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
No, that's not true.
The media worked hard to downplay the Hunter Biden scandal, protecting President Biden and messing with Trump's re-election chances. Big outlets called the claims Russian propaganda, ignoring the growing evidence and silencing anyone who disagreed. Whoopi Goldberg joined in on the view, brushing off the allegations. But Bill Maher wasn't having it. He called her out for dodging the real issues and ripped apart her excuses, showing everyone the clear hypocrisy.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied.
Bill Maher nailed it. The women of The View, especially Whoopi Goldberg, aren't just progressive. They're like a pack of sharks, ready to attack anyone who challenges their strict ideology. Their debates aren't about real discussion or truth, but about shutting down dissent with harsh insults and scorn. Whoopi's mastered dismissing opposing views like they don't even matter. Maher didn't hold back either, calling out their tactics as bullying disguised as activism. It's no wonder he's a constant thorn in their side, exposing their double standards for viewers tired of echo chambers. His takedowns feel like fresh air in a room full of stale, one-sided arguments.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. They live here, and they actually see women and people of color, and it doesn't look like some patriarchal racist nightmare. Do problems remain pertaining to racism and Of course.
Bill Maher is dropping hard truths, and he's just warming up. Brace yourself. What he's about to say next will absolutely blow your mind.
But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people.
Once again, Maher delivers a knockout rebuttal, a flawless antidote to the usual narrative. But figures like Whoopi seem destined to clash with his message. Before we dive into the next explosive segment, let's quickly recap what Bill Maher just laid out.
It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. The votes are in. They don't want your pity. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
Bill Maher lays it out straight. The progressive crowd needs to stop whining about Trump's victory and face reality. He didn't steal it, rig it, or create it out of thin air. He won because millions of Americans connected with his message. Sure, it left the left reeling, but instead of reaching for excuses like blaming Russia, racism, or the latest Twitter scapegoat, maybe it's time to accept that in a democracy, sometimes the other side wins. This isn't a system failure. It's democracy working as intended. The sooner they drop the Victim Act and start strategizing, the better their chances for 2028 or even 2032.
I said there's a coalition of Trump voters, people who really like him. They certainly are those. And then there's people who don't necessarily like him that much, but they still think he's less crazy than stuff that strikes them as aggressively anti-common sense.
Bill Maher hits the mark again. Not all Trump voters are extreme supporters. Many just got tired of the Democrats' lectures and the woke crowd's strange policies. Things like letting biological men play in women's sports or supporting questionable groups turn people away. Voters chose Trump not for his tweets, but because the alternative felt too preachy. If the left wants to win, they should stop chasing every extreme idea and focus on what real Americans care about.
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Bill Maher didn't just jab at Whoopi Goldberg's tired arguments. He completely tore them down while laughing at how silly they were. Whoopi, acting like the leader of the woke crowd, tried to attack Maher for having his own opinions. Big mistake. Maher fired back with sharp, honest, and funny remarks. He pointed out how the show claims to welcome different views, but really only accepts their own. Maher broke down their weak arguments and showed how they reject any disagreement. Watching him do this was like seeing a master at work, using sarcasm and logic perfectly. What do you think? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.